What's going on, guys? Ryan O'Toole back here again, giving you guys another ranking. With the release of Mank, released on Netflix this weekend, and David Fincher's 11th film, it's a perfect time for me to give you guys my ranking for all 11 David Fincher movies, from worst to best. If you guys are new here, feel free to click that subscribe button and that bell notification icon for more reviews, reactions, rankings, and more movie content. This is a ranking I've been very excited to do, and I want you guys to get down below in the comment section and let me know your ranking for all of David Fincher's movies that you've seen. If you haven't seen Mank yet, then let me know the ones you've seen and rank them. Also, let me know why as well you love each and every movie. Why don't you love certain movies from David Fincher? Let's have a great conversation. We are definitely not going to agree on all of David Fincher's movies or have the same list because we all have differences of opinion, and these are my opinions. These are my favorite David Fincher movies. It's all subjective. It's not objective. So without further ado, let's get started with the ranking.
It's here!
Alien 3 is a film that David Fincher himself does not consider to be his movie. As you know, there's a lot of movie news about Alien 3 and that David Fincher didn't get any creative control that he wanted, a lot of studio interference, and he tried to do a director's cut, and David Fincher himself wants to erase this movie from his memory, and this movie is just bad, man. And I watched it for the first time, believe it or not, leading up to this ranking video, and Alien 3 has a lot of problems. Kills a lot of beloved characters off from Aliens, and the direction this movie goes is completely different and just offensive compared to those first two classics from Ridley Scott. There's a lot of cool imagery, great special effects, especially the xenomorphs, and certain action sequences when they went down were cool, but the story is just horrendous. It has a bunch of supporting characters that are new, that are very unlikable, a new bishop that is not funny. Sigourney Weaver really does hold the movie together for as much as she can. This movie is really boring and a chore to get through, and I can never see myself watching this movie again.
Hello, everyone.
Make yourself to home, Mr. Mankowitz, or shall I call you Herman?
Please, call me Mank.
Mank comes in at number 10. It's David Fincher's newest movie. It's been getting pretty mixed opinions from people. There's people that absolutely love this movie, people think it's okay, or they do not like this movie at all. I stand in the middle. There's things I love and didn't love about the film. It pretty much underwhelmed me and disappointed me. I wanted to absolutely love it. Gary Oldman's really good in this movie. He never gives a bad performance. Lily Collins and Amanda Seyfried were also fantastic in the film. It's a gorgeous movie. The black and white looks totally realistic. A lot of great shots in the film. But as far as a rewatchable film, this is definitely not that. I can never see myself revisiting the movie again. There's just a lot of storyline elements that didn't interest me at all. While it is definitely inspiring to upcoming filmmakers, if they want to get into filmmaking, you should definitely check Mank out. But for me personally, the movie didn't engage me like I wanted it to. Like, I watched this movie and I said to myself, that's not a David Fincher movie. The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. This is another David Fincher film I watched for the first time most recently. Been hearing a lot of mixed opinions on it, and it's really long movie, 2 hours and 66 minutes, and the story's really interesting if you haven't seen it. It's basically about this guy, Benjamin Button, played by Brad Pitt, and he is a man, or guy, who ages backwards. He's born as an old man baby, and then he grows up and he's gonna die as a baby. Brad Pitt and Cate Blanchett are great in the movie. They have a great relationship and chemistry. But the movie, once again, just like Mank, the story just doesn't interest me. The characters don't interest me at all. Like the character of Benjamin Button, I didn't really get that emotional connection from him. Wanted to see more from his other mother, Taraji P. Henson, and Mahershala Ali, his other parents. Scenes were a little bit too long and boring, and just the whole story just didn't lock me in. While there are some really emotional and sweet moments, it's just another David Fincher film I don't get engaged with.
This is for you. Consumer Recreation Services.
Call that number.
Why?
They make your life
fun.
The game really centers around Michael Douglas's character, who gets a birthday present from his brother Sean Penn, and he gets introduced from this company. It's a game, a reality type of game. He has no idea what's real or fake. Things are happening around him, and Michael Douglas's character is really questioning what's going on. Really unique concept for a movie. Michael Douglas is fantastic in here. I loved him in this movie. Was really interested with his character, you know, his relationship with his brother. Sean Penn, also really good in here, but we didn't get enough of him. Another movie that kind of borrowed from this concept a couple years back was Game Night. I really enjoyed that comedy, and they basically play a game that they're discovering what's real or fake. And I think David Fincher's The Game is another really great, interesting concept. There's just a lot of story elements that they really don't dive into or explain enough. The ending is very David Fincher, high stakes, blood and gore. I just really loved the ending, the way it went down, and the whole outcome of everything. It just made you question what was real or fake, and I think David Fincher really explores that plotline very well. Panic Room is really like no other home invasion movie, and I've been getting pretty bogged down with home invasion movies, except for Don't Breathe. But this movie really is David Fincher blood and gore, and also just very interesting. You have this mother and daughter, Jodie Foster, and a young Kristen Stewart before Twilight. This movie's just a lot of fun. I really love Jodie Foster and Kristen Stewart in here, the mother and daughter. Both are really great characters in here. You just want to see them get out of certain situations. But as well, I was locked into the burglar characters, Forrest Whitaker, Jared Leto, and David Yoakum. A lot of different personalities in here, and Panic Room really has a lot of great David Fincher isms, as well as just plot lines for characters. You see where they're coming from. You know why these guys want to rob the house and get into the panic room, and you understand why our lead characters are really concerned for one another. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo was really awesome. It's a very dark, mysterious movie, and David Fincher was the perfect director in here. I haven't seen the Swedish versions yet. I would love to check those out. But Rooney Mara, man, was fantastic as Elizabeth Salander. Just a very broken character. I just feel so bad for her. But whenever she does have some awesome moments, it's very cool to see. I love murder mysteries and crime movies. You mix that into one, you get The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Daniel Craig, also fantastic. I mean, I love seeing Daniel Craig in anything he's in, James Bond or anything else. His character, a detective, kind of like Knives Out, except more darker. Might I just say, the editing in this movie's terrific. Every single sequence was perfectly edited, and the direction is flawless. And the movie is just high stakes pain and gain. Every single situation is just disgusting, but it's David Fincher at the same time. His direction works perfectly in here. Before I reveal my top 5 favorite David Fincher movies, if this is your guys' first time checking out the channel and you love it and you want to see more content like this, hit that like button and consider clicking that subscribe button, because I do a lot of ranking videos, tons on the channel. I also review movies, new ones and classic ones every single week from time to time. I talk Mandalorian Season 2 as well every week, and I do tons of movie content every single week.
Stay back, everybody stay back.
I did not kill my wife.
I saw this movie in theaters. It was the first David Fincher film I saw in theaters, and I was very excited for it, and I walked out loving this film. And this movie still holds up. Gone Girl is just this fantastic murder mystery crime thriller movie, and it's great. Ben Affleck gives one of his best performances in here as this character, Nick Dunn. He's being accused of a murder of his wife. Rosamund Pike is incredible. One of the best female villains of all time I've seen. Her character is just scary. There's just some scenes in here where she's really nice and innocent, and other scenes where she's just totally scary and messed up. And you're like, wow, what an evil person. And it also feels like one of David Fincher's films that could take place in the real world. Like the whole storyline surrounding here could be totally realistic and just all flows off of the screen. And Gone Girl is just still held up today.
Gentlemen, welcome to Fight Club. First rule of Fight Club is, wow, nice. You do not talk about Fight Club.
Rule number 1, we do not talk about Fight Club. Rule number 2, we don't talk about Fight Club. I mean, come on guys, it's Fight Club. This movie is awesome, and it really revolutionized David Fincher's career, this and Seven, but this movie really is probably David Fincher's most profitable film, and probably the most famous. You're not a real man if you haven't seen Fight Club. Like, this movie really dives into fight clubs as well as just psychological myths and battles in people's minds, especially the narrator, Edward Norton's character. He's going to these different clubs and other night events where he feels like he has no part in, like he meets Bob's Bitch Tits and other characters, and Tyler Durden. The relationship between him and Tyler Durden is just so good. You want to learn more. And Edward Norton's character is just finding different information, and it leads to a fantastic ending that's become one of the most talked about and praised film endings, film twists of all time. And Helena Bonham Carter's character, the ending shot, like, Fight Club is awesome. I just love this movie, and I want to start a fight club of my own.
This guy's methodical, exacting, and worst of all, patient. He's laughing at us.
Seven just really invigorated David Fincher. Like, coming off of Alien 3, he makes Seven. Like, this is who David Fincher is. And the storyline just is about murder mysteries, as well as just Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, these two detectives. And one is basically very excited to get into the job, but Morgan Freeman's character is close to retirement, and he's seen a lot of stuff go down. Both characters are fantastic in here, and one actor, Kevin Spacey, who we don't talk about in here, as John Doe, this psychopathic murderer who murders people with the 7 deadly sins. And every single murder that goes down in here, it's just disgusting, but awesome. And the ending, we all know the ending. What's in the box? It's amazing. Like, if you saw this movie and you already knew what the twist was, the twist still very much works. And it holds up. Like, this ending is just, it's awesome.
The Zodiac killer has come to San Francisco.
Another letter.
School children make nice targets.
He gave himself a name.
Zodiac. This movie is amazing, man. If you have not seen Zodiac, you're doing yourself a disservice. This movie is one of the best crime films I've seen, and the storyline just about the Zodiac killer, a very iconic serial killer that it hasn't been solved. Like, this whole case is very interesting. You see different murders of the Zodiac killer. Jake Gyllenhaal, one of my favorite performances from him, trying to get information about the Zodiac killer. Mark Ruffalo as the detective, and Robert Downey Jr. as the journalist. Just, this movie is just awesome, man. I love all these characters. The characters is what makes this movie interesting, not the Zodiac killer. Like, if it were just to focus on the Zodiac killer, it would have been boring. But David Fincher doesn't do that. And the ending leaves a lot of questions. It doesn't give you an answer. That's what makes a great ending. And the basement scene in this movie, chills.
Can't wait to stand over your shoulder and watch you write us a check.
If you guys were the inventors of Facebook, you'd have invented Facebook.
Is there anything that you need to tell me?
Your actions could have permanently destroyed everything I've been working on.
We have been working on.
The Social Network has very much inspired me about seeing screenplays in movies, and Aaron Sorkin, the OG greatest screenwriter to date, writing The Social Network. This movie's just fantastic. It's a masterpiece. My favorite David Fincher movie, and it's all about Mark Zuckerberg and himself, as well as the creation of Facebook. Jesse Eisenberg's performance as Mark Zuckerberg is great. Just a very unlikable character, as well as likable mixed into one. Andrew Garfield, I feel so bad for that character, but Garfield was amazing. He got snubbed for an Oscar. It's the most rewatchable David Fincher movie for me. This movie has inspired me, and it's just awesome, man. There you have it, guys. That was my ranking for all 11 David Fincher movies. Again, let me know in the comments below. What is your ranking? Do you like my list? Do you not like my list? Completely disagree? Agree? Let's have a great conversation in the comments below. Thank you guys as always for watching this ranking. All my social media links are in the description below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.